Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Squared Circle with me, David Alorca.
And myself, Joe Ojala.
That's right, we are back with another piece of This Week in Boxing, letting you know all of the hot news right off the boxing press. And where do we start? None other than the Don himself, Mr. Uncle Frank, signing up with the DAZN.
Big boy moves for Uncle Frank, cuz.
Hey.
Boy.
Big boy moves for Uncle Frank and big boy moves for the DAZN as well. Honestly, when they came in the game, their man said game changed.
They're top two and they're not two, bruv.
You know what I'm saying? And right now, in the boxing space, especially within the United Kingdom, without a shadow of a doubt, they are number one, certified in the UK. But on a global level right now, they're not playing games, are they?
No one's really touched them. What global platform are doing what DAZN are doing? They've taken over boxing, and you know, people first laughed when DAZN was started. Colin, how do you pronounce it? DAZN?
Listen. Don't even listen. Even Uncle Frank was laughing when DAZN started.
Say, yeah.
And right now, Uncle Frank was like TNT. Bruv, you man ain't got no explosives, bruv. DAZN all day, every day.
It's mad, man. I can't believe we're seeing Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn on one platform together now.
Hey, listen. Hey, DAZN bosses, you man there need to holler at Turkey. Because this right here, Turkey Al Sheikh, yeah? Turkey Al Sheikh and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia are responsible for bringing these two men together. In fact, boxing fans, you know what I'm saying? We got to say something to Turkey. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, sir.
We got to say something to Turkey. Come on, H-E. Listen, because there's no way we'd have seen anything like this. There's no way. It's been, I don't know how many years it's been that two promoters in the same country are on the same platform.
I think the last time, I remember reading it in Eddie Hearn's book, right? And he was talking about how he got rid of all the promoters when he first joined Sky, and Frank was one of them. So that's probably when it was the last time these like big promoters were together on the platform. So it's mad how life changes, isn't it? How life goes, man. There's been a bit of a criticism about it, believe it or not, right? And the criticism is that it ruins competition. Do you think it affects competition between the broadcasters trying to get the best fights with one another when you both now know, oh, it's all right, Eddie can pick up a fight, it's going to be on our broadcast, so it's all right, we can take a little step back? Or do you think it boosts competition that we're both on the same platform and we have to be the number one on that platform?
Hey, that's a very fair question. Yeah, listen, competition still exists. It will exist within the same territory. Do you understand what I'm saying? The same way that Matchroom Boxing, their competition on the DAZN has been Mr. Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy. Yeah, I know, but that's who he's been gisting with.
Yeah.
Because they're both on the same platform. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you still end up having some degree of competition. But what it means is that boxing fans who aren't football fans, for example, don't have to now subscribe to a different platform in addition to what they're subscribing to in the DAZN. Because at the end of the day, for example, if all boxing was underneath one umbrella, you would just need one. You'd only need to pay one fee. But then again, it becomes a bit. You need some degree of competition when it comes to that. Because if not, what happens is that company or that broadcaster can just rake their price way up, and everyone has to pay it because that's the only way you can watch the boxing.
100%. I think it was annoying when you had to get Sky Sports, TNT, and DAZN. Now you got all of it on DAZN basically. Now, like, what you're gonna miss out some boxer fights on Sky Sports. To be honest, I can see boxer moving there as well, bro. Just give it time, bro.
Hey, listen, I'm hearing boxers' deal with Sky is coming to an end as well. So
Top Rank as well.
Yeah, so who knows? TNT might not be out of the woods yet. They might take a young boxer.
Do you think TNT will stay in boxing?
I don't think so at this present time.
I just can't see it right
because
now. Yeah.
I'm looking and saying they won't stay if there's no other promoter for sure. But then if Ben, who initially started off on what used to be BT Sport, right, through Boxer, or at the time it was called Ultimate Boxer, he might end up floating back in that. But I don't understand why he would. It would, unless the money was that significant. Like, you've got the biggest sporting platform in the country in Sky Sports. So I think TNT might be out of the game.
In all honesty, if Ben's ever going to move, I think it's going to be DAZN as well. I think DAZN is going to get everything under their roof. What do you think about? Do you think Eddie is happy or a bit feeling away that Frank's joined him?
Eddie, I've got a feeling that Eddie's got some DAZN shares. He's a partner of DAZN. In fact, he makes it clear that he's a partner of DAZN.
Well, apparently.
Yeah. So for him, I can't see him being upset at that fact. To be honest,
I think he's happy for one reason. You know how this year he's been criticised a lot about not having enough UK shows.
Yep.
And he's been focused on America. He can kind of almost do that for next year.
And ain't been focusing on America. He's been focusing on Saudi.
Yeah, Saudi.
That's where Eddie's focus has been.
But he's been focusing more on getting American fighters on a stable more than he usually has been in previous years. Maybe they want to do a massive increase in the USA. But I feel like now Eddie can prioritize on those USA cards and let Frank just take over the UK cards. I actually think he's happy. I think he's getting a little bit of pressure taken away from him, low key.
Do you think we can end up seeing a DAZN price increase on the basis of this?
Yeah, they're going to take the mick, watch. They are, bruv. They are. When you know all the boxes on your channel now, like, you can put as high as you want, bruv.
Hey.
Unless it's a Saudi, I don't think it's like Saudi cards, they're going to take
the DAZN boxing is Riyadh season right now.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It is. In fact, not right now, it is. Because obviously Riyadh season signed a deal with DAZN to be their broadcaster. So, you know, that is where it's at. I think DAZN are coming with a vengeance because they weren't able to get football rights, Premier League rights, which is what they initially wanted in the first place. And so now they're like, okay, cool. As for this boxing thing, we're gonna wrap this whole thing up. We're gonna wrap it up, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
I'm gonna put a question on to you, straight yes or no. Yeah. Do you think DAZN is a good platform?
Yeah, I do.
For the viewer.
No,
I do as well. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I think DAZN is a great platform for the viewer. I think DAZN needs more program shows. I think DAZN need to call the squared circle. That's what I think DAZN needs to do. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I think it needs more shoulder programming, more shows for people that want to watch the channel outside of a main event or do you understand what I'm saying? And obviously you've got the stomping ground on there, you've got a few things, and that's all. But it needs more. There's something always going on Sky Sports. There's something always going on these other sport broadcasting channels. I think DAZN needs more programs. I think DAZN needs to give us a call.
Call us, baby. Now, I think you're right, because every time I would go on DAZN, it's just to see the fight night, or if you say a pay-per-view. They kind of need to make it along like YouTube, like a Netflix. I know, I presume that's what the plan was when they first launched DAZN. I know, like Simon Jordan was saying, look, like, this is a fantastic idea, but he just doesn't think that it's a great execution. They think like streaming is the future, isn't it? So I think that more shows are needed, more reasons as why we should actually click on DAZN rather to click on it for the fight nights. But besides, I think it's a great platform. I really, generally, I'm not even just saying, I generally do enjoy DAZN.
And the truth is, the more they do stuff like that, the more they can introduce stuff like more adverts, and the more they introduce advertisements, the more they can raise revenue through doing that. So there's multiple different ways in which DAZN can become a more revenue generating business than it is. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's the direction that they're going to look into. So yeah, shout out DAZN, shout out Big Frank, Uncle Frank. Do you understand what I'm saying? The boss himself. You know, it's actually genuinely great to see. So, you know,
people are saying Frank's the head of the promoters now. She's joined DAZN.
I wonder.
Apparently he's head honcho now, bruv. Him or Eddie Hearn. So apparently he's taking a seat as the Godfather, just running things now, bruv.
All right, now, right in the UK for sure, he is the Godfather.
He is running things right now. I know, obviously, Eddie Hearn's my personal, I got a personal bias towards Eddie. Even I'm admitting it. Frank right now is at the head of the promotional game. And
one way in which Frank is the head of the promotional game, or the evidence that Frank is the head of the promotional game, is the fact that he just signed the source. Mr. Lawrence TKO Okolie, as he used to be known. The now heavyweight, the two-time world champion Lawrence the Source Okolie. What do you think about that signing?
I was surprised. I was thinking, as soon as Lawrence left Boxer, I was thinking, where's like I don't. Lawrence was never going to go back to Matchroom. So it kind of made sense just for Queensbury to come in, but I didn't think Queensbury would. I thought he'd go back to Boxer. So I was a bit surprised essentially, but shout out Lawrence Okolie, man, doing your thing, bro. Like literally, I think he's on that Magnificent 7 card on December 7th with Brad Pauls versus Denzel Bentley as the main event. So we'll see what Lawrence is at heavyweight. But, you know, Frank getting another heavyweight in, like, it's a good move for Queensbury, having a 2-time champion on their roster. So, yeah, good move, man.
Uncle Frank, the king of the heavyweights. Queensbury Promotions, home of the heavyweights, home of heavyweight boxing. What we saying? What? We've got Tyson Fury, we've got Joseph Parker, we got Fabio Wardley, we've got Moses Itauma, we got Lawrence Okolie. But listen, the list goes on. Go on, tell me.
Fraser Clark might be on it. Fraser Clark hinted that he might be chatting to Frank, by the way. So,
is it?
Yeah, so it was during the Masood Leon Davis fight. That week Fraser was there, and then Fraser basically hinted, he's like, I'm not just here just to support my friend. I forgot who his friend was. That was fine. I'm here for business as well.
Hey.
So he's kind of alluding to maybe chatting to Queensbury. And I think Frank was doing it just to piss Ben off anyway.
Hey, big phrase. No, but the truth is, Big Phrase was pissed with Ben in the beginning because when the fight was supposed to happen and the purse bids were set, he got pulled from it. And you could see how, pissed off Big Phrase was. Now, obviously, in the turn of events, especially as the second fight has unfolded, it's like, okay, yeah, this is what Ben was trying to stop from happening. But, we don't know what would have happened if they fought when they were supposed to have fought. Phrase might have won. Who knows? Do you understand what I'm saying? So from that perspective, he wants a bit more control over his direction and where he's going. And obviously, as a fighter, you don't want the politics surrounding boxing to give you a hindrance. And whether you're at Queensbury or you're at Matchroom, you know that them two camps are brethren. They're going to get things done. Fights are going to get signed. Things are going to happen. At Boxer, it's a little bit... You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit shaky, it's a little bit shaky, warrior.
To be fair, if he joins Queensbury, bruv, Frank's got youth, got current, and got the future right now. So, look, man, Queensbury are dominating the heavyweight game, and they're top of the game.
Even in my list of running down the heavyweights, I didn't even mention the IBF heavyweight champions. I didn't even mention Daniel Dubois. Listen, there's too many to call, and on the name Daniel Dubois, we have to talk about Anthony Joshua. The rematch that you thought was going to happen on February 22nd. Yeah, I don't know where you're looking. Look over here. February 22nd. You, on our last episode, was like, listen, guys, I'm telling you, I said it first. 5v5, Joshua against Dubois, the rematch. Yeah. Nah, that's not happening. Okay, AJ, injury. Looks like Daniel Dubois is going to be rolling that dice with somebody else. And now the people want to know, who do you think that's going to be?
Yeah, I did a lot of talking still, innit?
You did a lot of talking still. It's humble pie time now. You got to eat the humble pie. You got to eat it. You know what I mean? You got to eat the humble pie. It is what it is. But we still need to know, who do you think he's going to fight?
Sorry, guys. Who I think is going to fight? I think Joseph Parker is the front runner, bruv.
Hey, do you think he's the front runner, or is that who you want to see him fight?
I think both. I can't think of anyone else. In fact, there might be talks of... So I've heard that it could be Fabio Wardley. I think it's too soon for Fabio, and I think Fabio would say that himself, and Frank has already said that. Potentially Zhang. I just can't see that fight happening. And then the only fight I can see that makes sense for February, and also the opponent's camp is ready, saying Andy Lee said he's ready, is Joseph Parker. I think that's the fight. That's the best fight to have for Daniel. And I think it's a fight that Joseph Parker deserves.
And I think it's a fight that Joseph Parker could win.
100% he could win that fight.
Like, bruv, I love what's going on in the heavyweight division right now. I love the round robin. I love the fact that everyone's fighting everyone. We you know what I'm saying? Solomon Dakers is back on that Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, Dave Adelaide.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm loving what I'm seeing at every level of the game right now in the heavyweight division.
Everyone's fighting.
It is beautiful. It's something to just sit down and salivate. Turkey. Once again, you know what I'm saying, man. I would take my hat off to you, but I ain't got a shape up, so we're gonna leave the hat on, okay? Because that would be a sign of disrespect. You don't want to see what's going on underneath this bad boy.
Son.
You understand? So, but honestly, that there is absolutely sensational. I think AJ is going to now wait and see what happens in December.
So, who do you think is going to be for February 22nd?
Who do I think is going to be?
Yeah, they're saying that Dubois is going to fight on February 22nd, and it's not going to be a 5v5 as well. So that's a double whammy I got wrong still. Yeah, forget about it. Anyway,
I think it's going to be Joseph Parker. I think it's Parker.
I think it should be Joseph Parker. That's the most entertaining fight. That fight makes so much sense in my opinion. I think Joseph deserves a shot, and Daniel, as a heavyweight champion, should be fighting the best.
But I don't want to see something crazy like Mahmoud Shah. Like,
don't.
But the thing is, I can see something like that happening as well. Like, I can see something outrageous like that happening as well. But I hope it's not, because if they do that, they'll be like, yeah, you need to tick me over until he's gonna fight AJ next and and they'll sell it in that direction. But I hope that Daniel Dubois continues on this run of hard, tough, challenging fights and going after these ones. And if he goes through Joseph Parker as well, oh my days, listen, that's going to put another star to his name, another Dan to his belt.
That would be one hell of a run, bruv, against Joseph Parker. But, the reason why he's not fighting AJ is because apparently AJ is injured. Now, my question is, do you think we see Anthony Joshua fight in Q1 of the year? And if you do, who are the front runners in your opinion?
Well, if AJ is going to be fighting in Saudi, then it has to be Q1. If we're going by Bob Arum's assertion that Riyadh season is staying in Riyadh season.
All the other promoters said he's capping. So.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if the promoters are saying that he's lying, then I guess we're going to see what's going to happen after that. So that means exactly. And who do I see him fighting? I told you I see him fighting Deontay Wilder.
At the time when you said that, I was like, bruv, David, come on, come off it, geezer. You're just trying to get a bit of a but, bruv. That's free. I got it wrong because I can see it now, bruv. I'm just gonna shut my mouth, man. I don't know why you don't watch me.
And then Malik Scott's been out here talking smack as well. He's been out here talking smack. The man that said he didn't teach Deontay Wilder to do the spin move. Meanwhile, in training, there's some training clips of Deontay Wilder doing the spin-a-rooney in the training as well. So, I can see that being the next fight, to be honest with you.
I see Frank wants him to fight Fabio Wardley.
Who, AJ? No, come on. AJ ain't fighting just Fabio Wood. AJ's not fighting.
That's a silly, like...
AJ's not fighting
But you know what
Fabio
Frank's going to do? He's going to try and get the best for all of his fights,
Yeah, of course, but AJ's not fighting Fabio, bro. That doesn't make any sense. Fabio's my guy. But Fabio and AJ are not in the same
conversation.
Yeah,
right
not
now,
even in the same financial stratosphere.
Fabio's
not
just,
in the same. Do you understand? No, I'm not even trying to just Fabio, because Fabio can go. I don't know how far Fabio can go, to be honest with you, because every time anybody doubts him, he lays him out. Yeah. So that's not what I'm saying. I'm just talking about on a profile level. It does nothing for AJ to fight Fabio Woodley. Nothing.
All right, I'm gonna give you a couple of fights that I can think of in my head. You just pick, besides the Wilder fight, what you would like to see and what you think would happen, right? So you got Dillian White rematch. Apparently Dillian's coming back very, very soon. I don't know if it will make sense to put him straight into that big fight. You got Andy Ruiz trilogy. Yeah. You got Tyson Fury. If they're gonna wait for Tyson and see the result in December, see if they can fight for another world title in that way. And Zhilei Zhang. And lastly Okolie as well.
All right. I can see Dillian White. I say no to your number 2, which was Andy Ruiz.
Trilogy.
Nope.
No, okay.
I can't see him fighting Okolie because he's got nothing to gain from fighting Okolie. I can't see him fighting. Who was your last one?
Zhang.
I can't see him fighting Zhilei Zhang either because he's got nothing to gain from fighting Zhilei Zhang. But the Dillian White fight, I can see it. I can see that one being a thing.
And if it's not going to be in Saudi, it makes sense, obviously, to do it here. Probably can sell out at 0-2 to a Spurs.
Oh, certified.
I don't know.
They've got to stack the card. They've got to stack it.
If the card's stacked, then it can do Spurs. I just don't know how much that loss has affected Joshua publicity-wise. I feel like people will still come out for anti. I know I would. Like, I'd still come out for anti Joshua, but it can still Spurs. I can see why Joshua happened in Spurs with a good undercard underneath it. So you think White?
Yeah, I think White is out of those names you mentioned. I think White is the most probable out of those names.
But I feel Wilder now makes the most sense. I think everything will lose to Wilder, and I think it makes so much sense. You know, both coming back from a loss. You know, it's unfortunate that it makes more sense coming from losses rather than W's, but it is what it is now, innit? And look, we've always wanted to see that fight. I still think we will want to see that fight, and I actually agree with you. I think Wilder's going to be next, man. And I think what happened in the first half of the year. I don't know the quarter, but
first half of the year, 100%. First half of the year, you'll see AJ back in the ring and back in action.
Do you think go straight back to Dubois after?
It depends on what happens with Fury and Usyk.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens with that one. Let's talking about February 22nd and what's not happening. Let's talk about what is happening. We have got news that, come on, Mr. Riyadh Season himself, Mr. Riyadh Season ambassador, will be fighting for the world title.
Hamzah Sheeraz.
Come on.
So Frank has said that he will be fighting for a world title. So the options are, you got Janibek, the best fighter in the division. You got Adames, and you got Arislandi Lara. Now, it's looking like it is Janibek, just because of the mandatories have been called by the WBO. But then again, Adames, Hamzah Sheeraz has got the WBC silver belt, meaning that he is mandatory number 1 in that division as well. So they can call for a Adames fight. And Arislandi Lara, I feel like it's easy to get Arislandi Lara for a fight. I feel like because he's quite old and he's probably not going to make a lot of P's compared to what he would do in Riyadh. So he can even get Arislandi Lara as well. But look, let's stick with the two main fighters, Adames or Janibek. It's looking like Janibek. Should it be Janibek when Adames is there?
I think it should be Janibek because WBO have called for it. However, I know Mr. Maurizio Suleiman, and I know that he is very close as well with Riyadh Season. I also know that Frank knows that we know that the WBO have called for that fight. And when the statement was put out that Hamzah Sheeraz will be fighting for a world title on February 22nd, he didn't say Janibek. So that leads me to think he might be pulling a fast one on us. It could be Adames.
I think it should be Adames in honesty. Because look, at the end of the day, I know we all say the best should fight the best, and I do think Hamzah Sheeraz is probably top 3 in the division. I personally think he's second. I think obviously Janibek is number 1 and Sheeraz is second. So then again, it does make sense, you know, the first top 2 fighting one another. But I do think there's so much more left in Hamzah Sheeraz's development. He's only 25 or 26, around that age, and there's so much left for him to improve on. I feel like, look, get Adames, get a belt, see if you can even get Arislandi Lara's belt in the future and get the unification undisputed belt in the future. That fight is way bigger than what it could be right now. So I do think Adames is probably the most sensible and it makes the most sense in my opinion. But then again, you could say, look, fight the best, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. And don't worry, we'll come to you and let you lot know exactly what happens when it does happen. But give us your thoughts. How do you think that one should go?
Yeah. So let's move on to some boxer fighters now. Let's start with Ben Whittaker. Ben Shalom has confirmed that Ben Whittaker will come back in February, in March time. Will it be against Liam Cameron? That's what I would like to know.
Man like Ben Shalom. Hey, listen, Ben Shalom, yeah, he just cracks me up, bruv. I swear down, because anytime I see him, I'm like, is Ben going to tell us what we want to hear? Probably not. You understand what I'm saying? He said he's coming back on a homecoming fight, right? And he doesn't mention it being the
Cameron fight.
Nah. And he doesn't get asked about it. And so it's like, I don't understand why the person that, you know what I'm saying, obviously it was
it on Sky Sports?
It was on Sky Sports, yeah.
That's poor,
Yeah.
man.
I say I don't understand why, but obviously I do understand why. Sky Sports is his broadcaster,
Poor
so
journalism, bro.
that's what.
Nah, it is. I know it's one your own, but come on, man. Everyone's gonna ask the same question, bro. It's poor. It's actually poor journalism. Yeah.
That's calling that out, cuz. I hear you. Because really and truly, you should ask. That's what the people want to know.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And the fact that it isn't asked, and the fact that it isn't said, or it isn't being said that that's who he wants, or that's who we want him to go in against.
You're just ignoring the massive elephant in the room, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, with the hundreds of thousands of followers that he's got and the millions of hits that he has, people want to know where he is, because you can't run away from this guy.
I think Ben is going to get cooked if it's not Liam Cameron next. Like, way worse than what it should be. Like, he has to show.
Which Ben are you talking about?
Oh, both, to be honest, but obviously Whittaker, innit? Like, but Ben Shalom's going to say you're protecting your fighter. You don't believe in him taking on Liam Cameron. And then people are going to say, Ben Whittaker, you're shook to fighting Liam Cameron. Liam Cameron deserves a rematch as well. Yeah,
but Liam Cameron's been out here talking bare, bruv. He's
rightfully
been out here.
So.
But is it rightfully so?
Yeah, because the amount of talking you did back, calm as a bee, bro.
Brother, he is dining out on this.
Do it. He deserves it.
He is dying. I'm seeing him.
Don't you think though?
I see him banging Twitter fingers every day, and Twitter's not even called Twitter anymore. But man's out here, Twitter fingers. Any sort of mention to Ben. I think he's typed in the search bar Ben Whittaker. And anything that's been said by Whittaker, my man's on there, just out here, just on.
He's gonna sell Ben Whittaker t-shirts.
Yeah, bruv. He's just golding him into this
But
fight.
don't you think it's fair though? After what Ben was saying to him, Ben said a lot of, like, I know it's boxing, it's all fair play, but like a lot of was to him as well, bro. So it's fair game, man. You gotta take it if you give it, bro.
Yeah, it's give and take, give and take.
So, yeah.
But you know what I hope for is, listen, I've got a lot of belief in Ben Whittaker.
I do.
I hope that he comes back. And that before next year is done, because I don't think it's going to be the first fight back. I think before next year is done, he needs to see my man and
really
put it right.
It should be the next fight.
I'm not saying that I don't think it should be.
That, yeah.
I'm not saying what I think it should be. I'm saying what I think will happen. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I've seen the way Ben Shalom moves. So you know, there's no criticism to Ben Shalom, because Ben is doing what he believes is right for his business. So I'm just saying, judging by the way in which Ben Shalom moves, and judging by the interview, I do not see that being the case.
Also, Liam Cameron is signed with Queensbury, so that's going to make it even harder to make that fight after, you know, Frank and Ben's little like bumping heads, bro.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, let's round it off with Chris Eubank Jr. Now, there's talks that from Ben Shalom that the Canelo fight is back on the table. Do you think that's a good fight for Chris?
Yeah, but that's from Ben Shalom. Eddie Reynoso said, nah,
yeah.
we ain't been talking to you, man. Eddie Reynoso is like, what is my man saying? Chris Eubank Jr. is not in any of our plans, period, and has never been in any of our. Like, that's what Eddie's come out and said, right?
Yeah.
So unless Eddie Reynoso is not involved in the conversation, which I cannot see
that's
being
his manager
the case,
as well, trainer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then it's like, are you man clouting? Are you man using
trying to use bait in it for Conor Ben? Yeah, no.
Or in the words of what's his name again? Of Canelo himself. In the words of Canelo, you payday. You want payday?
You're a horrible fighter, man. Horrible fighter. Yeah, Canelo's a G still. I think Eddie Reynoso, by the way, he was like he was quite fed up the way he was speaking. Like, these guys are just using us, man, for talk. But could you see that ever happening? Honestly, like in Wembley Stadium.
Listen, it will be a fight that would sell out. Listen, Canelo coming to this country will sell out.
Would it say at Wembley though?
Yeah, it will sell out Wembley Stadium.
Really?
Yeah, because I know what you're thinking, because you're like, does Canelo touch the casuals? And probably not.
That's what.
But every boxing fan is going. Every boxing fan in this country is going, and then they're gonna put some crowd favorites on the undercard, a couple, one or two, because not too many, because Canelo wants payday. He wants the money, you know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be too many, but they'll put a couple on there just to make sure that all the tickets, the gate is strong enough.
Do you think Chris deserves that fight?
Deserves it on what basis?
Merit rather than name.
On merit, no, clearly not, because he hasn't fought for
Quite
a world
silly
title.
question me asking. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
no, I
obvious.
see what you're trying to do
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I see what you're trying to do here. I don't like it. I see what you're trying to do here. Trying to set me up. You know what
Nah,
I'm
I'll
saying?
say
I got a
myself,
lot.
Chris, you don't deserve it. I love you, mate,
I got a lot of love for Chris. All right, I got a lot for him. I got a lot of love for his lines. I got a lot of love for the colours. I got a lot of love for the way in which he holds an auditorium, by speaking very slowly. But everybody's holding on to every single word that he says. That guy's
I think
gold.
Chris is one of the best talkers in the sport. I'm actually a fan of. I know it sounds like I'm actually a fan of Chris Eubank Jr.
Chris Bank you Jr.
Chris Bank did a little bit. Look at me waffling now. Chris, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I'm a fan of him. The fact of like, if they fight, they don't fight. I don't really care. I hope they do fight because I want to see Canelo here. And why not for Chris, man? He can get those world titles, those world title shots that he's always been saying he's wanted. So,
listen, Chris said he wants McGregor next.
Yeah, just waffling it. Do you think that it's basically basically like a game to get Conor Ben's team moving for that fight, or trying to get more money?
I think I don't know what it is. It's not.
So why are they saying out the blue like that?
I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. It's a bit confusing because, you know, when they questioned Ben about it, he was like, no, we said there was some small talks happening. But Eddie said there's no talks. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you say small talks with who are you talking to? Like, are you talking amongst yourselves? Is that what you're talking about? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But those are the two competing arguments that's going on over there. I think they're waiting for this situation with Conor Ben to get sorted out or to get clarified. Nobody's saying anything. We need some clarification about what's going on with Conor Ben so that fight can end up happening, because this fight is 2 years in the making.
They were talking about they wanted to do it in February when Chris fought against Zerameta around that time. They were saying they're targeting February, right? Do you see them headline that February card, or is it just too soon now?
I think it's too soon. I think it's too soon.
Yeah.
I think it's too soon. I want the fight to happen on these shores, but, you know, wherever it makes the most amount of money, wherever it makes the most amount of sense. But for me, sometimes it's about legacy, and I think the legacy is if the fight happens over here.
Yeah, and Spurs Stadium, I think it makes the most sense out of the... We were saying in the previous episodes, I think Spurs makes the most sense. Some fights shouldn't be in Saudi, and these are one of those fights.
Yeah.
Just because of legacy, man. Their dads fought in this country. It makes more sense that these two fight in this country. And yeah, just quickly on Canelo. You know, we're talking about Chris saying he's mad. I actually think Canelo would want that fight because he probably just doesn't fancy that Benavidez fight. I'm not saying Canelo's a duck. I think he fights anyone, but there's some fights you fancy more than the others.
Fights anyone but Benavidez.
Canelo, you need to fight Benavidez, man. Still,
listen. I don't know if he's gonna do that one, to be honest with you. And I think right now there's a degree of stubbornness to him. He's like, I don't care. I don't care.
But yeah, his previous fights that he's had suggest that Chris could be on the radar, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's my point. Yeah, nah,
you're savage. I see what you're doing.
Why is that savage?
No, but it is savage.
It's honest opinion,
you're basically
bro.
saying
Let's call a spade for a spade, innit? That's all it is, bro. It's not like I'm not trying to roast. Anyone can slap me up if they wanted to.
That's it. My bad. The list of who he's been fighting so far shows that man wants the easy fights. That he wants payday.
That's what it suggests. Yeah, okay. I'm not saying nothing disrespectful. Yeah,
he's calling it how he sees it.
Man will say to me in the comments, if I don't say it how it is, I'm basically being a P. I can't swear on here, but like, you know what I'm trying to say. And if I say it how it is, people will be like, oh, who do you think you are? What do you want?
Yeah, he's
got. Honestly, you want
authenticity.
There you go.
Yeah, listen.
You want it or what? Let's just be honest.
You're just calling it how you see it, and I hear that 100%. Is there? Have you got anything else for me?
No, not really. To be fair, I just want to give Shabazz Massoud his little flowers, man. That was a great performance over the weekend against Liam Davis. Just a dominant performance. Fighting in southpaw. The backhand was working all night.
Come on.
The precision, the timing. And, you know, Shabazz Massoud has probably shown he's the best super bantamweight in the country. Obviously, what's his name? Dennis McCann, Peter Guerrero got something to say about that on December.
Well, you've been converted. You've been fully. You're fully in.
What you mean?
Because you messaged me on Saturday night to say, bro, you watching this main event? But you watched it and now you're fully sold.
I love Shabazz Massoud, bro. I've become a massive fan of it. Do you know what it is? I love slick boxing. Yeah, he was outboxing Liam Davis all night. It was slick. It was just like the backhand was on point. The picking the punches. Do you know what I mean? It was a punch perfect performance, right? And his ring generalship, the way he was moving out of the corners when Liam was trapping him, it was great boxing. Like, and I think it's fair to say he became a star that night.
Yeah, no, he did.
In this country.
Yeah, his stock has shot right through the roof. Do you see what I'm saying? You know, amongst the whole country, but even in this podcast itself, you've been waxing lyrical.
I've been talking about Shabazz for the last couple of days with David, bro.
He's been waxing lyrical since he even walked in this door. He's been waxing lyrical. Like, bruv, what that Shabazz Masood? What? Listen, you know what? I'm with you on that one still,
man,
but
we'll
see.
As a guest one day as well.
No, we'll get him on soon. We'll get him on soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think that's about it, to be honest with you. Also, we've got a special shout out to the two kings that's going ahead this weekend.
John Ennis and Bam Rodriguez, two arguably pound for pound top 10 fighters, could in the future be that number one, fighting this week on a great stacked card in Philly. Yeah, man. Really excited to see that. It's just a shame that it's quite late. I'm gonna probably have to put my alarm on for that one still.
Oh yeah, certified. That's not a stay up thing. I'm gonna have to put an alarm on for that one as well. And I just love the chemistry that them two have got together as well. I've been seeing a lot of promo stuff going on with them both, and you know what I'm saying. And them two, like, yeah,
it's becoming a bit of a thing in America. You know, you see Tank and Benavidez on cards together, and I think there's talks they're gonna try and get the cards together again, because that Lamont Roach fight that Tank was meant to have in December has been postponed for January. I'm not sure where it was. Apparently, there's been arguments with PBC and Tank about the purse that Tank's got to get, or the venue wasn't ready for that time. It's something along the lines of that. There's been a mix of reports, right? But if they can't get that venue in January, we know Benavidez, David Morrell are fighting in January, I believe. So could we see Tank go on that card as well? Because that's not the first time they've done it.
It's not the first time they've done it. You know what I'm saying?
But it's coming a thing in America. The two best fighters always fighting together on cards when they would usually fight in their own main events. So yeah, that's nice, man. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see February, Saturday as well. That'll be a good fight, man.
It's going to be an exceptional. Well, both fights are going to be absolutely exceptional on that card on Saturday. We look forward to all that is happening in boxing. Make sure you keep it locked to the squared circle. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, click the like button, hit the notification bell to remind it, and drop us something nice in the comments. All right. Let us know you made it all the way to the end of the video. It's been a pleasure. I've been David Aloka.
And I've been Joe Wardula.
You've been watching The Squared Circle, and we'll see you again next time.
Peace out.